Welcome everyone today. My name is Mr. O and today I'm going to be covering the SAT Section 4 Practice 1, specifically numbers 12 through 14. And so when I'm going through these problems as usual, what I do is that I usually go fast on the problem to show you how fast I'm able to do the problem, and then I explain it and break it down to you slowly. Okay, so let's get started. So number 12. Based on the histogram above, what's the closest to the average arithmetic mean of seeds per apple? And so for this question, okay. Okay, and since there's a calculator section, I could use this. Divided by 2, 6, 7, 9, 12. So for number 12, my final answer is C, and this is how I was able to go about doing so. And so for number 12, it's a statistics-based question called histograms. And the important thing you have to understand about histograms is that when I'm doing these type of problems, usually I understand that it's based on the concept called frequency, which is the number of times something occurs. And so for example, when I see 3 of the number of seeds versus the number of apples, which is 2, I usually do 3 times 2, which is 6. And continue on with this is 5 to 4, so 5 times 4 is 20, and so on. And so what I ended up doing was I added up the sum of these possible values. So it'll be 20 plus 6 plus 6 plus 14 plus 27, and divided by the total number of frequencies that exist, which is this part. So it'll be 2 plus 4 plus 1, 4 plus 1 plus 2 plus 3. And so what happens is that on the calculator, I was able to compute this faster, and thus my final answer for this question is C, 6. To continue on to the next question, so for number 13, so number 13, let's get started. Okay, the group of tests enrolled in the following category approximates 19% of the total respondents. Okay, so for this question, okay, so 19, so females taking geometry, so females taking 53 out of 310. 310. Okay, no, I don't want that. Females taking algebra 2 will be 62 out of 310. No, that's not it. Males taking geometry will be 59 out of 120. 59 out of 310 and 19%. So my final answer for number 13 is C, and I'm going to go ahead and explain to you how I was able to get to this answer. And so for number 13, the important thing I noticed was that when I read through it, I only saw it was 19%, and I looked automatically at the possible answers. Sometimes it's faster for you to just go directly to the answers and get and work out the answer rather than just literally doing every single one. That would have taken forever. And so for me, when I looked at, for example, females taking geometry, I looked at females and geometry in the table, and I noticed there's 53. That being stated, I need to do it divided by the total because I wasn't given any condition or limitation as to what my population, quote unquote, is. And so I know right off 310 is going to be my complete value. And so I first did 53 divided by 310, found that 17% didn't work. Went to B, kept going, didn't work, and eventually ended up with C, which is males taking geometry, and thus my final answer for this question is C. And to continue on to the last question, so number 14. So number 14, the table above, 21, the outlier measurement of 24, okay, and what happened, okay. And so, no, that's usually not how, no, that doesn't change, okay. So for number 14, the answer is C. And so all these 3 questions I did so far are very heavily based on statistics. And I'm going to explain to you what each of these terminologies mean. And so when they mention the word mean means the average, basically. So average of all the possible numbers added up together divided by the total number of, fish that exist. Median is what I'll call the middle number. So I go from top, bottom, I keep crossing out until I get around to the middle, and that will be my median. And the last term they use is range, which is going to be the highest value minus the lowest value. And so, for example, for this question, if I left 24 alone, it would be 24 minus 8. But the part is this. So the question's asking me which will change which will change the most if the 24-inch measurement is removed from the data. And what they mean by outlier is that it's that really weird value that sticks out like a sore thumb. So, for example, if you were in a class and let's say that a lot of people bombed this exam, like they got the 40%, 30%, some people even got like 10%, but then there's that one student who got 100%. That one student who got 100% is what we call an outlier. And so for this question, I need to find out what would happen if I removed this outlier and which one would change the most. So for me, what I understood was that if I add up all these values and ended up dividing by the total number, yes, if I remove this, my mean will go down. That's for certain. It will go down, but not too much. It wouldn't change the average that much. It will only drop a little bit because my 24 is missing. Median, I don't even think it will change, to be very honest. I don't think there will be any change because when I remove this, I think the center value will still be 12 in the end for median. But range will change the most because it used to be 24 minus 8, which is 16. But if I do 16 minus 8 is 8, and there's a huge 8 number gap. And thus, that being stated, my final answer for this question is C, and that concludes my explanation for today. Thank you so much for watching this video. Please do like our Facebook page and subscribe to our channel, and I'll see you next time.